I got really annoyed with, I'd say, a couple of people in my organization, and also talking to a couple of architects, I don't know, in general. So I wanted to basically pitch an idea to you guys. So this is rough. It's my idea if architecture should really be a thing. But before that, I made a small Kahoot to understand if I'm completely wrong, and I want to collect a bit of like feedback, or potentially, I don't know, maybe I'm right and that's going to be a big surprise. So I hope at least 5 people register or something, because come on, it's nothing about Kubernetes. This is really about architecture, and specifically enterprise architecture. And trust me, if you work in an enterprise, you're going to have opinions on this. And me, who moved from basically startups to Swisscom, which actually was fun, we actually didn't have that many enterprise architects, to Roche, I was surprised. So I'm gonna, let's say, click start now and just have a look. This was designed today. It really, like, let's just figure out how wrong I am. There is no wrong answer. I've basically tried my best to select everything. What do you think when you hear IT architecture? Do you think software architecture, or do you think business process architecture? Okay, oh wow, we have even 6 people. I'm so lucky today. Does it automatically advance? Yes, exactly, perfect. Okay, that is surprising to me. I was expecting more to be software architecture. Now, let's go to the next one. Okay, the points are really pointless right now, so I'm very happy you have them. You're not gonna win anything today. Now, have you found architects in your organization useful? Definitely, sometimes useless, we don't have any.
And can you move a bit over? The plant is there, the other side, the outside of the...
Oh, we have a camera, I forgot. Okay, oh wow, this is nice. So we have a bit of a distribution now. So sometimes, definitely never. Useless, we don't have any. Okay, this is good. This is more in line with what I was hoping for. Yes, points, no, I'm sorry, not today. So what do you think is an architect in your organization? Is he an enterprise architect? Is he a software architect? Is he a cloud architect? Or again, you really are happy you don't have any architects? I think we have only 7 people. I don't understand why. Ah, no, we only have 3 out of 5 answers. No, it's 3 out of 5 slides. I've never used Kahoot before in a presentation, so. Okay, so it could mean everything. Beautiful. And, no, we have 2 more. Okay. Should an architect know how to code? This is one that is really a pet peeve of mine, and it really annoys me when I hear that one doesn't code. I think we have 7 people, so it should automatically. Yes, thank you. Now it works. A bit, definitely. Really only 1, and they design buildings. Okay, at least you're in the right room today. And the last one: should Agile take care of enterprise architecture? Because if you look at the Agile framework, more or less, there's a part that takes care of business processes. So this is a general topic, specifically SAFe, the scaled Agile framework. If you, okay, you've already answered while I was talking. So we have yes, we have no. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna ask questions after this. So the points are useless. I was just curious to understand. Everybody won. I'm so happy for you. You've all received medals. Congratulations. But the reason why this was important to me is because when I originally started this, I got really, hey, you can go get yourself a second beer now.
Thank you.
The thing is, when I'm looking at architecture, I get a bit annoyed because it's usually people, or actually not even people, it's a role, it's a job position, it's a profile, where they don't really know what is happening in the real world. And this is why I wanted to, it was literally a brain fart on, I think, Wednesday last week. And the reason why this happened is I was offered a new role as a DevOps architect. And the beautiful thing is my previous role was called Lead DevOps Engineer, which means nothing. But at least it had engineer in the title, so there is something involved. Now it's called lead DevOps architect. And I'm like, who the hell is a DevOps architect? It makes, like, what is it? Let's figure this out. So I looked around at Roche because I wanted to really figure out, we're in the middle of a huge transformation, but that doesn't really change things. We still have our regular enterprise architects. We have solution architects on the other side. They are, let's say their role is a bit more clear because they design solutions for new projects. So, I don't know, you want to build something, you ask them, they tell you if it's in line with the business processes. But we don't really have somebody who is going to tell you, this is how the organizational IT structure is. If you want to build something, let's say on AWS, you need to use this, this, and this. And I was like, wait, we don't have these people. Okay, so let's change a bit. Let's change a bit of dynamic. Let me understand what's wrong with enterprise architecture, why we have so many in the company. By the way, 2 of our enterprise architects just changed roles. I was so happy to hear that. And that was really my confusion. This is where all of this started. I'm like, which one does what? Does it matter if you're an engineer? Do you just, I don't know, finish architecture school and then become an IT architect? Is this the way? Because honestly, judging by some of the profiles I've seen, they have no idea what's happening. For them, business process is the main thing. So I'm like, okay, let me ask Big Daddy Gartner. Please tell me, what is an enterprise architect? And clearly it does state it is responsible for, okay, it's a bit weird because Gartner really has to put it in a nice way. It's about disruption, it's about vision, it's about outcomes. But basically what I understand is in between business and IT. So this really ties into enterprise architecture related to the fact that they are usually the ones who are in this weird elevator that keeps going in the... Who uses elevators like in big ass buildings anymore? Nobody. This is just like, it's an old school concept. And I want to understand, why is it still there? Judging by my speed, we're going to be finishing very fast, by the way. No, because you will see a lot of things where they say that the architects are the people who are basically going to business and coming back to IT and trying to relate these two environments. While if you clearly look at the, let's just say, Google Trends. I'm not really doing too much here. I just wanted to understand. Am I losing my mind, or is there something behind this? And I'm not saying that this is a correlation. It's just what I've seen. And the fact is, if you look at SAFE, and this is what we're doing right now. Also, Swisscom is doing this as large organizations. There is a part where you have people specialized in dealing with business processes. You have release train engineers, you have Scrum of Scrums. Basically, they should have an overview of all the processes involved in an organization. Sounds great. My question is, where do you fit an enterprise architect? Because they are the ones who are supposed to be responsible for the business processes. From my perspective, it's a bit of a conflict. The problem is, when I've been researching this online, I found that, unfortunately, most people are ranting just like me because we're confused. There is no clear guidance online whether there is an architect or there is a release train engineer who is basically trying to manage all of this. At this point, you get mind blown. And I was like, okay, let me at least look at what current architects are doing. So I found the Enterprise Architecture Specialist Group. Supposedly they know what they're doing. I cut off the name because I don't want to shame anybody. And they are referring to themselves as they are working in the ivory tower. And if you're working in the ivory tower, you should not be close to IT. If you're not close to IT, I should not know about you. So why do you still exist? And yet, I know it's a rant, but as I said, you are guinea pigs. I'm terribly sorry. This is really my first try understanding this. But it really looks like there is a part of old organizations which is not really adapting to the new way of working. Because, I'm sorry, I'm an engineer. I usually code. I build stuff. If you tell me that there's somebody who's going to be like, no, I'm terribly sorry, like your, I don't know, AWS project is not in line with our organizational structure. I'm like, what does that mean? Does that mean that I need to change some security settings? Do I need to deploy only on serverless? Do I need to use VMs? I don't understand. And this is why Coming from architecture, oh my god, this is amazing because like I'm supposed to be an architect and I'm just like shitting on them. It's like theory is theory, that's great, but actually in reality it does not work. So there are some articles, as I said, do not take this as granted. As I said, presentation was done 40 minutes ago. There's a lot of text. But the idea is that there might be a need to understand what enterprise architecture should mean these days. My issue with it is that if you're not involved into, let's say, agile and you still are doing your enterprise architecture, it might work. Maybe you're working in a waterfall organization, everything is beautiful, you have your 10-year plan, your release is happening 3 years from now. Honestly, God bless you. Fantastic. I wish I would be there. But in reality, that's not really the thing. And a lot of us have to do releases really fast. And if you're doing releases very fast, you're either doing shadow IT or you are in line with your organization. If you're in line with your organization, you're most likely doing agile. Now, if you're doing agile, what is your role? If anybody knows this, I am definitely curious to understand. I'm reading online. I have a book that I still started. It's called The Software Architect by O'Reilly. It's actually interesting. But that's the thing. It really doesn't help. We have to do something with these enterprise architects. We could, or we could, let's say, create, I wouldn't say it's a new discipline. I really enjoyed how this sounded. Wait a second. I should have changed these slides. So we'll go here first. Because from my idea, if you do extreme architecture, it's just a rename of extreme programming a bit. Because that one was adapting waterfall programming to, let's say, agile, to being lean, to being fast, to adjusting to new requirements every month or something like that, which was cool, and it worked for a while. Then it all transitioned into agile, I believe. Now, what do we do with people who are responsible for our business processes? Because you do not want them to be blockers. So you have, funny enough, I do have a degree which basically studied both business and IT. So I'm supposedly specialized in this. I don't think I'm ready for it, but again, that's why degrees are for, right? You put them on your CV and then you try to apply again. So how do we manage to solve this problem between linking IT architecture, IT processes, and business vision? You could do it with hiring specific people who are supposed to do this, but this doesn't work because, I'm sorry, you do need to have overall vision. You need to have teams who report back to these people. And if you only have a couple, like let's say a center of excellence for architecture, it's my experience with center of excellences is that it's not really, oh, my watch is dying. If you have a lot of teams and they have to align with business, and you have a center of excellence, they work more as consultants and not as enablers. You go to them, they help you, you figure out certain things, but it's not like they will give you clear guidelines or, for example, Terraform modules or, God forbid, I don't know, reconcilers who are like, okay, here you go. This is the platform that we're operating. Please deploy using these I don't know, tools, and you're going to be in line with our business processes. Because in the end, more organizations are becoming IT driven, so it would make sense. I had to put this. I'm sorry. The thing is, when I saw this, and I was remembering when I first saw EA Games challenge everything, but it doesn't work, so I left it like this. So I just have this is a thought. It's not, it's a bit of a rant, a bit of an idea. But if you do design thinking, if you're sitting in an ivory tower and you're not connecting with your development teams, you're not really doing something right. If you want to be an enterprise architect, you should be able to deliver proof of concepts, or maybe Terraform modules, or, I don't know, tangible, not diagrams. That's my idea. Because I don't know, if you are really going to draw me a ton of lucid chart telling me how this connects to this and to that, what is the business value of that to me? Like, I don't understand it. So maybe I'm not seeing it right, but for now, that's why I'm testing it with you guys. Please help me. And yeah, that's the thing. I want to make sure that there is, I will repitch this also internally eventually. And I want to understand, what is the role of new architects in a large organization? I'm sorry for startups, I mean, or 9 even, like, I'm sorry. For you, you're lean, you're fast, it's okay. But if we're talking to the Swisscoms, to the Roche, to the, I don't know, Swiss Rays of the world, it's a bit of a different situation. Especially when right now we have data as code, and I'm sorry, if you want to give me something, you can give me any kind of chart, you can give me any kind of data architecture in code. So if you don't do it, is it because you're lacking the skill, so you should have upskilling required? Or is just something wrong with my way of thinking? I think we are much faster than I was supposed to be. I'm sorry about that. I really did not even like try this. So I would like to know. You can do it now. We can also stop recording and do it later. I think it would be much better as an open space. So for now, I just wanted to say thank you very much for listening to this rant and for this first idea. And please give me feedback. Cool. And now beer. Hi. I haven't been this stressed making a presentation in a long time. I'm starting this new role and I really didn't have any time to do it. And I promised, I was like, I need to do something. And I have this like, it's been bothering me for like 2 weeks now. Yes, but the question is, who has enterprise architects these days?
I think we're on the brink of getting them.
Really? And you are also for 9 then?
No, or for neighboring switch.
Ah, I've heard. But wait, why are you getting them?
Some people think it's necessary to overcome some limitations.
So what would be these limitations? I'm absolutely, feel free to mingle. We're done.
So I think we officially stop recording now and wish everyone a nice evening. We take our beer now and see you next time. Bye.